What is up, Mets fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Mets'd podcast. Series lost to the Milwaukee Brewers, best team in baseball record-wise. Mets played a weird one. I mean, it's the 2026 Mets. The experience of watching this team will always be an up and down. And shockingly, we have a lot to talk about because, of course, we do. This is the New York Mets. Before we get going into it, make sure you are subscribed to the channel over on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. Big shout out to our members who get access to the episodes early on YouTube. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. Man, I mean, just rip the Band-Aid off real quick with this one, James.
It's just as a bad team playing a good team, the good team won 2 of the games.
Yeah, and it started with Freddy Peralta being unfathomably bad, about as bad as he's ever been in his entire career. It's really still shocking, considering we've been going on like a month and a half now of like bad performance after bad performance after bad performance. I still can't believe Freddy Peralta has ended up being this bad as a New York Met.
No, it's shocking. It's sad. Like I was trying to go through the disappointment Rolodex in my head of Mets acquisitions who've been even close to this bad as Mets. When the expectations were even somewhat high and deservedly high. People have been arguing about this a lot on Twitter about how this really underscores all the problems with the Mets and David Stearns. I really can't see that for the life of me. This guy had a 3.4 ERA for a half of a decade. I think it was a 3.28 ERA for half a decade before coming here as like one of the 10 or so most productive pitchers in the league, 25 or so
votes.
Yeah, Cy Young votes. One of the 25 or so best pitchers in the league. And this is like deplorably bad. And this isn't even like normal bad. This is like Cooper Pratt and Joey Ortiz hitting missiles off you bad.
Yeah, it was not a good homecoming for Freddie. So much so that like people down the league are talking about like what is the actual value on Freddy Peralta? Because if he pitches like this, he's not a playoff pitcher. Teams definitely are going to have to talk themselves into finding the problems right now with Freddie and how they can fix it, because it is kind of crazy the fall off that he's had. And shout out again to all the Monday morning quarterbacks saying how, you said this is an organizational problem. How did they think that Freddy Peralta was going to be good? Another guy that can't handle in New York. It's just that the pitches are horrible. Like, he's just become a worse version of himself for a guy who we thought was actually consistently good. There's now that question. And as much as we want to blame David Stearns for the shortcomings this season, who saw Freddy Peralta being this bad? If Freddy Peralta was a 4 ERA pitcher, the Mets would be significantly better than they are right now.
And it's funny, the Freddy Peralta, after his start on June 3rd, he had, I think it was like a 3.6 or 3.8 ERA.
Yeah.
And this has happened this quickly. And even this start, like, it was really now the fastball just getting pieced, like completely destroyed. He also couldn't locate it. It was either down the middle or missed the plate. Freddy Peralta in this game, he threw 18 first pitch fastballs to the 26 hitters he faced. Only 6 of them were strikes.
That's impossible.
A 33% first pitch strike rate with his fastball. It doesn't make any sense. And like I've said the last few starts, like it actually has felt like there are moments where Freddie's breaking ball consistency has improved lately, but now this fastball command is so bad that it doesn't even matter anymore.
Slider was getting pieced up. It was not looking good against the Brewers. It felt like every time that he was giving up a big shot, it was off of the slider. It was just there's nothing.
I thought it was all the fastball. I think all the home runs were fastballs.
I think he gave up a bunch of hits on the sliders too. Take a look at that, because the slider was horrible. The slider hasn't been good for a couple starts. He's not fooling anybody.
Yeah, it was three hits on the fastball. I think was one of them the Andrew Vaughn home run. I can't remember. I could have sworn the Andrew Vaughn home run. No, the Pratt home run was definitely a slider.
Yeah, I mean it's a pitch that's not particularly good right now, and it's something that Freddy Peralta obviously needs, because if you're a fastball changeup pitcher from the right side, it's not typically one of the best profiles, and the fact that the slider is not doing anything is really hurting his value and production even more. I never saw this version of Freddy Peralta happening. It's crazy that as soon as he brought up the extension talks, he went completely south. Talk about a guy who has absolutely nuked his offseason value. He's not pitching well. I don't know what his value is going to ultimately look like. It's a short-term deal, prove-it type stuff.
No, just to confirm, the Vaughn home run was on the fastball.
Okay.
The Cooper Pratt home run, that was a breaking ball.
Got it.
Yeah, and it is kind of funny, too, like those 2 home runs. The Vaughn was a home run in 3 of the 30 ballparks. The Pratt was 7. So, again, it does feel like sometimes it is like an avalanche falling on Freddy Peralta where he's pitching horribly. Some of it's not deserved, but everything just goes wrong every single opportunity.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've noticed this. Maybe you'll watch it in the next start. Watch when he throws. It looks like he's aiming. Like everything, like even when he's throwing, he's like this. And you've mentioned before on various different videos we do on our channels about how his extension's not as good as it is in the past. Yeah. It feels like when he's throwing, he's kind of just like trying to place it in there. It looks like at times rather than like coming through and really throwing hard, which would also make sense with the extension issues.
Yeah, it also felt weird for him being back in Milwaukee to a degree. Like, just spent his whole career there, came up with them. And then, like, the kind of sad ovation he got when he left the mound after pitching really, really poorly. It was kind of like a surreal image.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't one of his best memories ever in that ballpark for sure.
No, but they're probably actually one of the worst.
They got to be up there for the worst.
No, it's just sad. And again, like this series, you're watching... It's Cooper Pratt. It's Joey Ortiz. Like
Joey Ortiz owns the Mets. That guy has got our number.
Joey Ortiz took over the game on Wednesday, defensively, offensively. It was unbelievable. I was just, and it felt much worse on Monday than it wound up being the rest of the series. There were closer games. Like this was Mizorowski for only 4 innings against this version of Freddy Peralta, but it just felt like one team was there to play baseball, and one team was there because they had to play baseball.
He was so dominant. The Brewers had such a commanding lead on this game that they just decide 4 for Mizorowski's fine. We don't need to waste his bullets right now.
The Mizorowski conversations are weird. The Brewers said they wanted to keep him down to like 70 pitches in this start because of how long of a layoff he had. They had to rebuild him back up.
They also mentioned, too, during the broadcast that they don't want to miss starts with him, that they still want him to pitch every 5 days.
For sure.
So a lot of this, like, I think Pat Murphy said it, that they want him to still go out there every single day to keep rhythm, but they're going to very, very strictly monitor his pitches moving forward. And in a game where you have a 7-run lead or 6-run lead very early on, I feel like that's a pretty good time to take your ace pitcher out in a game that you're guaranteed to win, basically.
Yeah, again, 13 days between those starts from Mizorowski. Very weird situation right now, but they know more than we do. They're going to nurse him right to the top of their playoff rotation. He's unbelievable.
It was also infuriating to see just how the Mets bats had nothing against the bullpen as well. Like Craig Yoho's a good guy, but then like even Lance McCullers, I know we got a couple runs off him.
Yeah, we put it together against McCullers a little bit.
He just struck out 4 guys. Like
no, totally. It's just never close enough to actually make this game really feel like anything was going on.
No, none whatsoever. It was a bad game, to put it simply.
God, Freddie has an ERA over 5.
Oh, he's the worst pitcher in baseball this year, I think, qualified pitcher.
No, qualified pitchers, we have Jeffrey Springs, Aaron Nola, and future Met Mitch Keller.
Ooh,
but Keller actually might have gotten below Freddie's ERA today.
Does he have the highest whip then? I feel like he has something that's the highest.
Live stats, full season. Because I think Keller pitched today on Wednesday. Yeah, he did. So Keller went now he has a 4.9, but Merrill Kelly got hit hard, so now he has a 5.1. So Freddy Peralta still the 4th highest ERA among all qualified pitchers.
Just never in my life thought that he was going to be this bad for the Mets. It is going to go down some way, somehow, as one of the worst David Stearns trade in a litany of bad trades.
And the whip was the highest in the league heading into play on Wednesday, but the bad Merrill Kelly start has pushed it higher.
That'll do it. Nice. Him and Merrill Kelly.
Yeah, right. It's terrible. It's just really bad. Even like Sierra, stat that's supposed to be like a little nicer right to this version of Freddy Peralta, he's still in the bottom 30 in the league about. He's 22nd highest.
You think it's hurting his trade value? Because I do.
I think now what's gone on so far it's hurting his trade value, but I still think that once we get into the throes of the deadline, the starting pitcher who's been streaky in the past, who I'm sure teams are going to convince themselves they can help in the short term, I still think the Mets get like a fringy top 100 prospect for him at least, and then probably one lottery ticket with it.
Hope so. Need something back for him.
I think we will get something back from him. I'm excited. We're going to interview Robert Murray, and it's going to come out to you guys on Friday. So we're going to ask him very openly, like, how much does this short-term lack of success, to be very mild about it, with Freddy Peralta hurt his actual trade value at the deadline?
Yeah, he's given us some really good stuff for trades in the past, so excited to hear what he has to say about this Mets team next day. Let's talk about the game that the Mets win. Much better. 4-0 win against Brandon Sproat, who Brandon Sproat came out ready to pitch. He was like, what if I throw 100 on every single fastball? Granted, he didn't pitch that well. He walked a bunch of guys, gave a bunch of hits. Wasn't the sharpest, but he was definitely motivated. Shout out Zac Thornton, though. No more Zach, Z-A-C-H. Drop the H. Z-A-C. He said he's always felt like he was a Z-A-C. Never understood why the H was there. Love to hear that from my left-handed pitcher. What is with lefty pitchers just being like on another planet at all times?
I think lefty pitchers are, I don't know, you get the advantage over the lefties who feel like they have the advantage all the time. Especially Thornton right now. He's just on such a roll. I can't even believe. Such a heater. Good reporting by Laura Albany's Newsday about why Zac Thornton dropped the H. And like Mark said, he always didn't like the H's name anyway, but he said no one asked him before. And now they actually asked him at the major league level. Because I guess that was also kind of like a mental moment of like, oh, I'm actually going to stick on this team now, which is cool after being up and down the first part of the season. And he was like, yeah, I didn't want the H, so I took the H off, which again, very funny. He also mentioned a drill in that interview with Laura that him and his dad would throw 90-foot bullpens when he was in high school. Or like at this, I think she said between 13 and 15 years old. His dad was like, if you can throw strikes from 90, it'll be very easy to throw strikes from 60.
I'm in. If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball.
It's exactly how that felt to me. But another 6-inning start, another start just manipulating the heck out of that cutter. So this was 3 starts for Zac Thornton where he's completed 6 innings.
That's crazy. That's more than Fred Peralta now, right?
It's close. So Freddy Peralta's done so 6 times in 21 starts. Sean Manaea has done it twice in 7 starts. Clay Holmes done it 4 times in 9 starts. Nolan McLean leads the way. I think he's done it like 12 or 13 times. And Christian Scott still has not completed 6 innings.
Zac Thornton, though, he's got you. And gets his first major league win, too, in this one, which is always nice.
She should have gotten that Sunday, but the Francisco Lindor error cost that. But still, he's fun. I think now this is an interesting time, though, for a guy like Zac Thornton breaking out where we have to contain ourselves to being like overtly excited. Like, yes. I see every single 2027 Mets rotation prediction. I've seen some put Zac Thornton as high as the number 3 starter. We have a long way to go before that comes, but I do think Zac Thornton is showing a lot of the things that's very important of like a back end starter and a guy who can stick when we're still just kind of waiting for him to take more steps to show he can be that guy. For all the under the hood stuff, right now the results phenomenal. Under the hood we need more.
Yeah, not the same type of pitcher, but like he's doing what we were hoping our other lefty that was in this rotation was going to do this year, which is David Peterson, which is like really just give you quality starts. That's what you need out of a guy like Zac Thornton. He's not going to be an ace. He's not going to be a Cy Young Award winner, but if he can make a great career out of being a really good major league pitcher like he has been so far.
Oh, for sure. He'll be around forever. I love the fact that, like I said before, he manipulates that color well. He's comfortable with it on both sides of the plate. He can kind of also change the depth of it at times to make it kind of like 2 different pitches, which I like. He broke off some nice ones where it was like 2 different cutters in the same at-bat to Jackson Chourio to basically close his start in the 6th inning. He only faced Chourio and Terang 3rd time through. I feel like Andy Green really wanted him to get through that 6th inning. And not that there was like a ton of stress around that. I felt like he was good to do it, but it was cool to see him mix and match. I like that his velo was up a good bit too.
Yeah.
Like his cutter was over 88 in this game. It's average about 87 in the major leagues this season. Everything was up a tick mostly. I like seeing him mix in a couple of changeups, a couple curveballs, more sweepers. He's going to need to have lots of junk to make this all work long term. So the more that keeps happening, the better. And we're seeing a lot of good short-term growth here from Zac Thornton.
Yeah, super excited. Again, keep him in that rotation the rest of the year. Let's see what the young kid's got because he's been pretty good so far. And then offensively in this one, did you see our buddy Francisco Lindor? What's that OPS start with there, James?
back to it was still 7 after Wednesday, though.
After Wednesday, it was because he got a hit in his last at bat, didn't he, Lindor?
Yeah,
it's 7-13. It was actually higher, or
nice.
it's higher.
7-13. So you still think he ends the season 800? I think we're pretty close to it.
Yeah, I mean he's played 40 games, and he's from what we've been told by others, the worst 40 games ever. You would think that Francisco Lindor did something to your family based on how everyone talks about how he played. But through 40 games, he's a league average hitter. Yeah, I got a pretty good feeling that the guy who does this every single year that he's been a Met will do it again.
Yeah, we did a lot of yapping about Lindor and all the murmurs and the rumors and the chatter on the last episode. So thank you guys all for supporting that. A lot of people came out and said they liked what we said.
Director's cut.
Direct apologies by me. When I edited that episode and uploaded it, I didn't realize how full the storage was on my computer. So when I exported it, I was like, wow, it's gone to YouTube fast. And then I shut my computer and went to bed because it was like 1 a.m. And I was like, I only uploaded 17 minutes of the podcast. So that went up new the next day. So apologies to you guys. But it's gotten out of control. We can't talk about it every episode. We're probably going to talk about it a lot with Robert next. But it's just nice to see him play good baseball, and I think he does tons of good baseball left in him. There's not really much of a concern from my end about it.
No, he's still definitely rusty in the field. He even had that awkward play in
that was Wednesdays,
in Wednesday's game. Well, he had a couple awkward plays with the jumping on the kind of soft liner where he jumped a little bit too early. I don't know if it was Contreras or Chourio who hit it. The awkward play with Marcus Semien. It feels very much like it's still spring training for Francisco Lindor. That is not an excuse because it's the regular season. You want him to play at the
100 games in.
Yeah, at the top level. But right now, for him, it feels like he's still in spring training mode a bit.
And not an excuse, but it's just sometimes players have seasons that just don't go their way. And this just feels like it's one of those for Lindor. And I still feel like a lot of the numbers will be okay by the end.
But he looked pretty good in this game, in game 2.
Yeah, everyone kind of looked good in this game. Everyone felt like they showed up to play. I mean, Luis Robert hit the home run heard around the world, 450. Do you guys see that, Guardians? You see that, Phillies, Braves? You guys see what this guy can do? Unbelievable hitter. You want to catch lightning in a bottle like this?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we'll take some of your prospects.
It is funny that for all the horrible decisions David Stearns has made, somewhere in his fault, some definitely his fault, probably going to get a successful arbitrage on Luis Robert Jr.
That, and also for all the horrible decisions that have been made in trades and all that kind of stuff, probably going to have some of the most impactful players traded at the deadline by any team.
Yeah, this is also one of the last times you're going to get to see the Mets bullpen just be locked down between Weaver, Raley, and Devin Williams having a nice clean return to Milwaukee, which was funny. But Weaver and Raley just so free and easy as relievers. We saw it again with Minter on Wednesday. He didn't get to finish his frame, but these guys are really going to be parts of the playoff race, and I wish them so well for that.
Think the Mets ever considered trading Jared Young?
I mean,
does he have any value?
I think he does. Jared Young is, I think, why on the 20 to 80 scouting scale, like the 45 exists.
Yeah.
Like you're a fine defensive first baseman. You're going to hit righties, but probably not like the best in the league. You can never get in at bat against a lefty, but as far as 26 guys on the roster, I'm very okay with you having one of the spots.
Yeah, definitely. No, he had a nice game too, hitting that home run. He's got pop. He's a good athlete, and like you said, he plays a pretty good first base. So shout out Jared Young. Everybody in this game was hitting. Juan Soto, bad series, didn't play in Game 3. Yeah. Just, I don't know. Milwaukee's weird. Again, we say this every time we play there. I hate watching games in that stadium. It's very dark and dreary, and it feels like the weirdest shit happens. Also, it felt like the infield grass and the outfield grass is extremely long. I feel like watching some of the balls roll, it felt like the ball was moving so slow on balls that were hit particularly hard, especially to the outfield. It was like, oh, that ball didn't reach the right fielder? What the hell?
Are you calling it out like Notre Dame against USC? They let the grass run out.
I think the Brewers are letting the grass run thick. And I also looked up, this is a fun little research I did the other night while I was home in Jersey. The Brewers have the most ground ball singles in Major League Baseball, but away teams have the least amount of ground ball singles in Major League Baseball in American Family Field. I don't know what that means, but that's kind of crazy.
I feel like that just means they have great defensive positioning.
I think it's that thick grass.
How are they playing to thick grass but no one else?
Because they've got great defense too.
Yeah, that's true. You mentioned before how Sproat came out right at the pitch. And this was like a classic Sproat game where it was like, you see the flash and he's like, I can't miss any bats. 10 of the 11 hardest pitches he threw in this game were in the first inning.
Yeah, he came out ripping. Gary and Keith made note of that too.
Yeah, like Gary and Keith had a good series as well. This was also this game started the discourse with Luis Robert Jr.'s return about off days. And this game, Soto was in DH. We had Benj in right, and we had Ewing in left. But once we got to the game on Wednesday, Soto was on the bench, and Beatty was in right, with Ewing back in center. And people are up in arms fairly about Brett Beatty playing the outfield again as we start to move on to the next game here. But more so about the fact that Benj and Ewing, because Ewing was off on Monday.
Yes.
It's about the fact that these guys are going.
Was he off on Monday?
Am I wrong about that? Wasn't he off one of these days? There was a Twitter storm about it.
No, I think Benj was off on Monday. If I remember
Benj
correctly.
was off on Monday. I can't get my rookies confused.
Yeah, I don't know. To jump in a little bit here, I think like the rational fan, and again, the guys who are listening to us and women, shout out to women who listen to Mets'd Up.
All 6 of them.
Yeah, all 6. I think we can understand why Luis Robert is getting the playing time over some of these guys right now, because Luis Robert is probably not going to be on this team come August 4th. So, yeah, you've got to showcase him for a guy who's missed a lot of time. The only reason he didn't play on Wednesday is because it's the late-night game on Tuesday, early game on Wednesday for a guy who has the worst muscles and bones. Can't get hurt. That's the last thing we can do with this guy. But he does have to play to showcase to teams that he's healthy and a good baseball player, all those things that you would expect. I don't know. I don't particularly care. Again, if we were like missing one game for Carson Benj in the series and A.J. Ewing didn't sit, it feels like we're really, really, really nitpicking at that point.
It's also something about, and I think this gets overlooked when players transition from the minor leagues to the major leagues, is that the major league season is significantly longer than the longest minor league season.
Yes.
By almost 50 games. So last year, through the minor league season, Carson Benj played 116 baseball games. He was already at 98 this year. 2024, the year before that, between college, 61 games in college, which is a long college season, and 15 games in St. Lucie. And we've seen a lot of other young players over the last few years kind of run out of gas just because they've never played this long of a season. We saw it happen to Alvarez a few years ago. We saw it happen to James Wood in Washington last year. So it's probably not the worst thing to give these guys a day off here and there. It's not the end of the world, even though some Mets fans were acting like it was.
Yeah, that being said, there is no excuse for Brett Beatty to be playing right field. It makes quite literally 0 sense on a team that has 5 primary position outfielders on the roster at the time of Wednesday's game. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but, like, that's got to be Tyrone Taylor then if it's not going to be Soto or Robert. It can't be Brett Beatty. I don't know why we're playing him out there, and if it's to showcase him, you just showed everyone in the league he can't play the outfield.
Yeah, I think the flip side, the only reason that happened was because Brett Beatty, relative to his season, has been swinging the bat well of late.
And he hit a home run in this game.
Yes, he hit a home run, which he's only net down 1 run after the error. But it wasn't even called an error, hometown score, and I think that wound up being a triple. And Joey Ortiz was a home run away from the cycle in that game on Wednesday after making the game-saving defensive play in the 9th inning as well. But, digress. There's probably something where it's like, this guy's playing too well right now. Just put him in the field so he can get some at-bats, so we can just see if we can build any confidence, see if we can get the bat going with this, that, the other thing, whatever it may be. But then the problem is, again, you make a horrible error. Probably, realistically, Semien should be losing playing time. I know he hit a home run also on Wednesday, but Beatty has at least showed, if you want to actually showcase value and show that this player is still versatile, worthwhile to keep on a baseball team, second and third makes way more sense than second, third, and right field, which he's been pretty bad a lot of times in the outfield this
It's
year.
also interesting to me, why would Jared Young not go to the outfield and then Brett Beatty at first? Jared Young
He's been even worse at first this year, and Young's bad in the outfield.
Okay. All right.
Honestly, I just think it's the wrong guys in the wrong spots. I also think if you're going to do that, not that the Mets have any ground ball pitchers besides McClain anymore, as I say this out loud, but like Christian Scott's a textbook fly ball guy. Yeah, probably. All the lefties are in the lineup against Christian Scott. Like you're just throwing Brett Beatty to the wolves. Maybe that's what you have to do to get him better in the outfield, and wins and losses don't matter, like we've been saying, but it's a shitty visual, and it hurt a guy like Christian Scott at a time when he was rolling, when he was about to get out of a first and third no-out jam for that ball to drop.
Yeah, it would have been a big difference. Because, again, I don't particularly care about the winning and losing right now. It's not about that. But, like, process-wise, it was like, I don't really love Brett Beatty getting more reps in the outfield. Like, we've seen that he's not good out there. It's not a position for him. He could play 3 spots in the infield. Let's just do that.
We have a lot more to talk about in this game, like, again, whatever happened with Christian Scott, the lineup, all the great plays the Brewers made. But quickly, we wanted to give you guys a message from today's sponsor, Fox One. MLB on Fox is streaming on Fox One. The race to October starts now, and we have your front row seat to the wildest walk-offs, lights-out pitching, and clutch plays all season long. Follow every can't-miss matchup as teams battle for a spot in the postseason, then stream the 2026 World Series live on Fox One. At home or on the go, live or on demand, never miss a moment. Stream now. And we have our Mets playing on Fox this Saturday in a series against the Dodgers, which we'll preview in full later, but the Mets playing the Dodgers doesn't feel that fun right now.
No, it does feel a little bit David and Goliath-y just in terms of how good one team is and how bad the other. And unfortunately for us, the Mets are the bad one, but hey, anytime the Dodgers come to town, we do low-key play them well in Citi Field, I feel like, every time they come.
It's always a fun environment. There's a bunch of Dodgers fans that always make it out there, and we have no sarcasm here. An ace-off.
Oh, yeah?
Yoshinobu Yamamoto versus Nolan McClain, Fox, 7 p.m.
Ooh, that's good baseball right there, at least from a pitching perspective. The Mets probably won't get any hits, but that's a pretty good matchup.
Dodgers might not either. McClain's been on a roll. But again, guys, make sure you check it out this weekend on Fox and check out the Fox One app.
Back to game number 3. You mentioned Christian Scott almost got out of that jam. The final line's not pretty, but
not good.
I don't think he pitched poorly. I just don't think it was as sharp as his previous starts.
No, and it's another one of those starts which was kind of like a heat check moment for Scott, just to remind us that there still are steps to be taken.
Struggle with the lefties.
Yeah, it's the lefties, because this was a game where it didn't seem like he super trusted his cutter. So the Brewers basically didn't chase a few of them early that were in on the hands of the lefties, and then he kind of stopped using it. Then he threw the curveball a few times for called strikes, and it got some, also wasn't really great. And again, the whole thing kind of felt like it spun out after that Brett Beatty misplay, which credit to Beatty. He did hit the home run later, and he went up to Scott after the inning, was like, my bad.
Yeah.
And Scott tapped him. He's like, no worries. Like, you'll pick me up another time. Like, all big deal. But just with the command iffy for Scott, with the Brewers team that didn't chase anything.
No.
They chased like 1 or 2 pitches out of the strike zone his whole start.
It was early on with Churio. Churio chased the nasty sweeper.
Yeah, but I don't even think he got one chase from a lefty. It just was, when you can't get that chase against them, Scott still has some trouble inside the zone against lefties with that fastball currently. He's the only pitch he can really throw there.
Yeah, he threw one to Christian Yelich, and Christian Yelich is like, watch this. Easy, like single to left field. He's like, you can't get that by me, dude.
And then when he falls behind in the count against the lefties and they're not going for the cutter, he has to throw the fastball. They know he's throwing the fastball. And it's just, it got hit harder than it got hit in the last few starts. Again, young pitcher, happens. We're going to try again next week.
Mets also struck out 15 times in this game.
Yeah, the Mets, how many times he even struck out on Monday? That was like 12 times?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of swing and missing going on. Jorge Polanco looks about as not useful as a player as we've seen in a long time, and that includes Marcus Semien in that conversation.
And Semien, in terms of what he did earlier in the series, offensively, defensively, it looked like it made. I think I said on Twitter, it made my eyes bleed.
I was shocked at how vocal Gary and Keith were about the awkward, almost double play that wasn't double play between Lindor and Semien, and mostly blaming Semien. They're like, he's not even in a position to try and turn two, and that's something that like. I think I've said to you, me and my dad have like texted it back and forth when we're talking about the Mets. It feels like there's a major inability to turn double plays as a team. There's no speed, there's no quick turns, and Marcus Semien has been so bad at second base. Like the one thing that we thought was going to stick was at least that he was going to give us plus defense at that position. I think he's one of the worst defensive second basemen in the league this year.
Oh, he is for sure. And he bungled like easy plays this whole series. Like that one behind the base that clanked off his hand when they were in like the shift. And that play with Lindor and Semien for the double play. Lindor led him around the bag with a flip in the air as if he was going to come around the bag as momentum back and throw. But Semien planted on the base like we're just playing for one, which I think Contreras might have been running. I don't know why they
turned two without a doubt.
Yeah, I don't remember who was running, so don't quote me on that one. But I was just like, it was a weird moment. It was a weird play, and it was one where it just didn't feel like these guys are on the same page. And again, they really actually haven't played that much because of all the choppiness with Lindor and his injuries and Semien with the recent one when Lindor was back, but it's still not an excuse for this. And Polanco, like, that ball to Trang made an amazing play up the middle. Fantastic. Yes. But, like, anyone else in the league probably beats that out.
Yeah, I mean, the combination of not being healthy and also not hitting the ball well, it's a tough combo because he's a DH who can't hit right now. That's not normally what you look for. We have plenty of those kind of players. So
he's also DH that doesn't have any power right now, which is something that Polanco is very much supposed to have, something he showed last year. Like, the strikeout rate's still really low. Like, that's really cool, but, like, it's a weird situation with Polanco and Semien because we're thinking a lot about 2027. These are two guys under contract. You definitely can't trade unless you take on a contract that's of equal or worse value. And these are two guys that, if you told me right now they're in the 9 on opening day next year, I probably don't feel tremendous about either of them, especially this Polanco thing. The team has, by thing, I mean his heel injury that seems to not be going away. The team has made the assessment that surgery won't help very much, and he has to basically play it off and improve. If the team made that assessment medically, can't really argue with that, but I look at it with my eyes, and I'm like, this guy doesn't look like he's a healthy baseball player.
No, he's hobbling around like his name's Jed Lowry. So, like, it's bad between those two that we're giving, like $45 million a year to those two guys to basically be useless players. It's really, really difficult. It makes the roster so much tighter. And the fact that they're getting paid that amount of money, they're going to play, and you're not just going to cut them. Like, as much as I would love to, they're not just going to cut Jorge Polanco and Marcus Semien. It won't happen.
How many innings has Jorge Polanco played at first base this year?
Do you have a number?
It's coming up right now.
How many games has he played? How many just games?
Jorge Polanco's played in 21 games. You have an innings for me at first base.
I'm going to say he's played 75 innings at first base.
20.
Whoa, that's way less. Oh, my God. He wasn't even playing first base at the beginning of the year?
No, because he had a little injury early in that. I think he played the first base in like 2 of the first 7 games, and that was it.
Mark Vientos and Brett Beatty.
That's what I'm saying. This whole and Jared Young kind of took his lunch, but it was just it always felt weird at the time. They were like, "Yeah, he's gonna be the first baseman." We were kind of like, "Are you sure?"
We were like, "Why?"
And like he kind of flashed defensively in spring training. I think if he would have played there, he would have been fine defender there. It's not really the point, but it just seems like whatever's gonna happen to his lower body in a short period of time has sunk him. This is a guy who hit multiple home runs off Tarek Skubal in the ALDS last year. And like it's amazing how big of a piece he was not even long ago, and how hotly sought after he was on the free agent market, allegedly. And to be this much of a zero this deep in the season. And again, maybe he just has to play this off. Maybe this is everything we're talking about. Lindor also should be true of Polanco to a much lesser degree because he's less of a player, but he could just wind up the season with a hot month. We could be like, all right, if this guy is first base DH next year, we're okay. But as of right now, that feels so far away, it's not even funny.
I feel like as an organization, and again, this is directly on David Stearns, and this isn't even about Pete Alonso. I'm not going there. But I'm going to talk about first base position as a whole. I think something that me and you have always said is who cares about first base defense? We personally don't really care that much. The Brewers' first basemen are Jake Bauers and Andrew Vaughn, who I think combined have like negative 10 OAA at first base this year, but they're absolutely mashing. You got to get bats. You got to get guys who actually know how to play the position. And even still, they might not be that great defensively. We should not have prioritized first base defense.
And let's really rage bait people for a second. You want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're going to get positional splits for every single team in the league as the player that day who started at first base.
Nice, I like that. I know the Mets have the second lowest OPS, and it's only in front of the Diamondbacks, who have basically been playing a crippled person at first base this year.
So the Mets have actually risen in that. I'm going to get the split to include today, live stats, full season. The Mets have the second lowest WRC+.
That's good.
But the Mets have risen to the third lowest OPS.
Wow, who do we pass?
And weirdly, the Diamondbacks have jumped. They're 704 now somehow.
That can't be right.
It is. I'm looking at it right now. But it's
At
their
first base?
Yeah, they're positional. Yeah, it's positional split, first base. Oh, they can't do live stats full season, so it clicked it off. So yeah, the Mets are still fourth lowest. So the Diamondbacks are the worst. The Diamondbacks first baseman this year. Oh my god.
That's what I'm like. There's no way they jumped up that much.
Diamondbacks first baseman have a 586 OPS.
Dude, have you seen Ildemaro Vargas since May? I think he has a 420 OPS.
Cleveland Guardians 644, and then us and the Blue Jays. Who plays first base for the Blue Jays?
How much money did he get paid?
We're tied. I mean, we wanted them pretty badly. We're tied
me too.
648 OPS. Then the Mariners, who took the Diamondbacks first baseman, they're 672, also in the first baseman with a big contract. Orioles first baseman this year, just to throw it out there, have the 19th highest OPS in the league.
Interesting.
Of all people who've played first base for that team all year.
It is a clear 100 points higher than the Mets, but
Yeah, it's
infield
again,
defense.
No, it's very bad. Just for a full season stat line too. If you guys want more of this horrible news, Mets first baseman this year of a 215, 273, 375.
Oh God.
And if you want to take the median of first base WRC plus, it is 119.
I'll tell you something that the Diamondbacks at least have, though. 5 OAA at first base this year. Elite defense if you're not going to hit. The Mets, this is a fun one. The Mets have the second worst first base defense according to OAA in Major League Baseball, -10. The Brewers are the worst. Orioles are, where's Baltimore Orioles? Why can't I find their logo? Oh, the Orioles have the second best.
No, in OAA that's all positions.
At first base, they have the second best.
Good for them.
Good for Pete.
Good for Pete. Having a great,
That is a double-fisted fuck you with David Stearns.
Oh man, our comment section is going to be fighting with the opposite people they're fighting with on normal episodes right now. But it just goes to show how bad this team is.
So bad. They can't do anything right almost.
No, and it just makes it really complicated to think about next season with these two guys, Semien and Polanco, on the roster, and I don't know how much you can trust them.
I wish one of them would pull a Kadire and just take one for the team and say I'm out, but they're owed so much money. I would never do that.
No, Polanco's do 20 mil, and Semien's do 24 mil, right?
Yeah, 24 mil for another 2 years.
Oh my god.
Marcus Semien's going to be here for another 2.5 seasons, James.
I have a feeling he doesn't get through 2 more seasons.
How? The guy came back from a fucking 6-week injury in 2 weeks.
I'm just saying it's gonna be Robinson Cano thing. Where
Superhuman.
That's going to be huge in 2027, similar to 2022, where we do the early season Semien cut. Gives the whole team a boost.
Just squeeze him for whatever juice could possibly be left, and then once you decide that there's like not a drop, it's goodbye, smell you later.
That was when we cut him, right? 2022 officially? Yeah, 2022 is when we cut him. Yeah, so again, that's going to be
Played
huge.
opening day, right?
He did play opening day. And in 2020, Robinson Cano, 316, 350, 540 triple slash in 50 games.
2019 Robinson Cano.
One last year, that was very bad. God, we're talking about Robinson Cano, and we did it again.
We did it again. How did we do it again?
I don't know.
How did we not have an agent as GM and do it again?
From
Seattle!
From Seattle. I was even talking about Semien. You could even do both of them for this. But we also got some new rumors from Big Ken Rosenthal, Will Salmon, Athletic article. A lot of Mets fans want Clay Holmes to be on this team forever. But Ken Rosenthal basically says he's good as gone. Much more likely gets traded than extended, which makes so much sense. And that Luis Robert is getting trade interest.
Nice, good. My king, but you know what? It was a good run.
Yeah, and again, not going to do rumors too much in this episode because Robert Murray coming on Friday, but it's the Mets have to trade Clay Holmes for anything they can get.
Yeah, and I think they're going to get something decent. I really don't think it's going to be that bad.
I think it'll be a prospect outside the top 100.
It will be maybe like a hipster top 100 guy, but not like a consensus top 100. That's the ceiling.
Possibly. Or it's just a toolsy 19-year-old.
Yeah, we've been told that the Mets just want the best available prospect. They're not looking for anything in particular. Best available, which is the right way to go about it.
And they're not steadfast in 2027, which we thought could be a possibility. We've done some of those trade episodes with you guys recently. We've been told that they're just looking for absolute best talent, what they could get.
Should we get ready to preview this next series?
Yeah, we should.
All right, but first, Mets'd Up is brought to you by FanDuel. Baseball fans, the MLB season is in full swing, and FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It's just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. Who's going to be my daily dinger pick against the Dodgers? I mean...
Against the Dodgers?
Yeah, against the Dodgers or the Dodgers against us. Freddie Freeman will eventually hit a home run against us. It's a day that ends in Y.
I mean, this weekend we have Freddy Peralta bobblehead day, and then Freddie making his likely last start as a Met on Sunday. So I'm sure there'll be some home runs around that.
If you see Kyle Tucker, too, you know he's going to do it against the Mets. He's had a horrible season. He'll hit a home run against the Mets.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Kyle Tucker doesn't hit many home runs anymore.
Don't look at what he's getting paid and how well he's playing this year.
And how much he's getting paid when you include the tax bill.
Even worse. So, are you ready to play your game? Head over to FanDuel.com/podcast to get started. That's FanDuel.com/podcast to opt in for daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball.
21 plus select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 plus D.C., Kentucky, Wyoming. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 1-888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050 Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY New York. Call 1-877-770-7867 Louisiana.
All right, we know Yoshinobu Yamamoto McLean Saturday. You told us Peralta Sunday. Give us all the pitching matchups one more time.
The Dodgers are basically a college baseball team where they have pitchers that pitch on days of the week, which is kind of funny. So Dodgers Friday guy, Roki Sasaki, facing Sean Manaea. Remember the NLCS? That was a long time ago. Told you guys Saturday, Yoshinobu Yamamoto versus Nolan McLean. Sunday matinee, 1:40. Emmett Sheehan versus Freddy Peralta in the disappointment off.
Yeah, it really is. Two guys who you're like, man, you stink this year. Emmett Sheehan probably going to be used in a trade to go get Tarek Skubal, though. So
possibly. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening at the trade deadline. But the Dodgers have gotten to enjoy a nice East Coast trip right off the break. Very easy travel for the Dodgers to come off the All-Star break.
Must be nice.
New York, Philly, New York before heading back home.
Half their guys didn't even have to leave. They just got to stay in the same area that they were in.
Yeah, I'm sure they mostly did that. But I mean, this Dodgers team's wagon. The Brewers actually, by beating us in the series this week, passed the Dodgers for best record in baseball,
Good
which
for the
is
Brewers.
I want the Brewers to get the number 1 seed just so there's even possibly a chance the Dodgers don't go to the World Series again. It's a we're asking for a lot there to ask for that, but that's what we got. And this Dodgers team is like amazing, and they've honestly most of the guys that we expect to be really good aren't even playing that well, and they're still this good.
No, shout out on America's favorite player though, Dalton Rushing. If he's got no fans, I'm dead.
Yeah, you're the only one left. He had a big home run, a long home run on Wednesday.
Respect ball, and I like a dude with a little chip on his shoulder. It might just be a little too big.
Yeah, I think he's just a jerk. I don't think it's a chip on his shoulder. I think he's just an asshole.
You know who could use some fucking assholes on their team? The goddamn New York Mets.
Yeah, definitely could. Way too many nice guys in this team right now. But, I mean, Ohtani's Ohtani. He's not going to pitch for a little while because he has a little knee thing, but I think they just want to make sure he's pitching for the playoffs. Mookie Betts hasn't hit this year. Kyle Tucker's been dreadful this year.
Yeah, really bad.
I saw a thing on Twitter that Kyle Tucker with the tax bill is getting paid. Like, he's costing the Dodgers like $115 million. And he's going to have like a 1.5 win season.
Yeah, he's got an OPS under 700 at the time of recording, so that's not particularly good.
As does Teoscar Hernandez, who's on a 3-year, like $60 million contract.
Yeah, so, as much as the Dodgers do spend money and get all the guys that they want, some of these guys are starting to get old now. That money is going to catch up at some point.
And, like, Eric Lauer pitches for this team every single week, too. Like, Justin Robleski's taking a massive step forward. We're not getting him. Did you see what Roki did first started out of the break on Friday against the Yankees?
He looked pretty good, didn't he?
He was around 102. He threw, I think it was like 15 of the 17 hardest pitches of his career in that game.
Yeah, I'm trying to trade for him in a Dynasty League.
You think it's finally time?
I think give him another next season, 2027 play.
Which is fine. They got time. They got a lot of team control.
Don't care. He's free.
He's still free for another full year after this. Andy Pages has really regressed lately, but he's been a great run producer, hitting between Ohtani and Freeman. As Betts has had a bad season. Edman just came back off the injury list, and he's ripping the ball right now, so we're going to get to watch prime Tommy Edman against us.
Can I say something crazy?
What?
This version of the Dodgers cannot win the World Series.
I think that's still kind of crazy.
The no Ohtani pitching version, I think they can't.
I mean,
I don't think that they're the best
I
team in
think
the
they
National
can.
League as the roster currently stands today.
I think no matter what, when the games get tight and you have to play the next best, would you think, I'm assuming the best team in the National League, which is the Brewers?
Brewers, yeah.
I think the team that the Dodgers don't want to see is the Phillies more than the Brewers. So I have to be honest with you. I think the Dodgers know how easily that series could have changed last year against the Phillies.
I see the Dodgers respecting the Brewers more than the Phillies, almost because the Phillies, similar-ish to the Yankees, where it's like, oh, we know this team plays dog shit defense and makes, as we saw, some of the worst base running decisions in baseball. I feel like from a process standpoint, they don't respect them.
I think the Dodgers respect the Brewers like you respect your little cousin who plays really hard against you in like backyard sports, but just can't get one over on you. But I see the Dodgers
I was the
look
baby cousin, so that means nothing to me.
I'm just saying, yes. I'm actually the big one, so that's good. Me and Anthony pool basketball this Sunday. Can't wait. Had a circle on his calendar for a year since last time. But that's just to me how they view them. Where I see them viewing the Phillies as like a true adversary, who's someone that could get them, and a team that's going to buy. Again, not talking trade deadline for other teams, but. No. Like, even, I agree with you.
This rotation is not a World Series rotation as it stands without Ohtani.
No, of course, but Blake Snell is going to be back, I think, next week or the week after, and that changes things dramatically.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, it does. Maybe we'll see. It does.
Well, no, I'm saying we'll see if he's back.
And the Dodgers are guaranteed to get a starting pitcher at the deadline.
Oh, yeah, no. They are going to win the World Series. This is not me saying no. I'm just saying if they take this exact version that exists on July 22nd with no Shohei Ohtani pitching, I don't think it's free.
Do you remember the rotation they won with in 2024?
Yeah, but their offense was a juggernaut.
I think when the going gets tough, this offense will stray towards juggernaut again. Like, Max Muncy is so good still somehow.
Yeah,
like, at some point, Teoscar and Kyle Tucker will be, like, activated the sleeper cells inside of them.
Max Muncy was a dick. Why did nobody hate him?
Why
do they hate Dalton Rushing?
Yeah, good
Those
point,
guys got to be best friends.
Like, Will Smith isn't even playing right now, and like Dalton Rushing is going to get to mix in as, like, a mix and match guy once the team goes on a run the playoffs. Like, they're just so good.
They are so good. They're ridiculously good. I'm trying to do anything different than just say it's the Dodgers.
I know. I think the one thing that's funny about the Dodgers is we start to talk more about labor stuff and like, oh, there's no parity in baseball. Look at the parity in all these other sports. I think if Shohei Ohtani was never born, there'd still be tons of parity in baseball. Yeah. I think more so in the Dodgers spending all this money is the fact that they have the best baseball player ever.
Yeah, like if you had, I don't know, let's say in football, the best quarterback and then also the best defensive end, it probably changed. That it's the same guy. I think that would help out your roster a lot.
I think today's the anniversary of Ohtani's major league debut.
That can't possibly.
No,
be.
It's not. He started opening day.
Yeah.
Why does he have exactly 8 years of service time then? Oh, I guess that's injuries.
Injuries, yeah.
The exactly 8 years. You never seen 8.000 on a FanGraph
service time on Baseball Reference and all that kind of stuff at this point for like, it's like, what does that even do?
No, it's tight. And I think the other thing that Mets fans really have to watch out for, again, big star for Nolan McLean on Saturday. The Mets, more so than anything, we need Nolan McLean to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, so badly.
We really got to push this narrative. We have to do our job here because, I mean, J.J. Weatherholt, if he winds up with a 250 average and a 740 OPS with 19 home runs and 23 steals, that's not Rookie of the Year.
I mean, if you're batting average, we know is important. I look at batting average and ERA when I do my Rookies of the Year, and right now, Nolan McLean has a better ERA than J.J. Weatherholt has batting average.
By a lot. Yeah, it's not even close. Oh, the camera finally went off. That should help us call it.
That's a signal. Thank you guys for watching.
let me get Frankie Peppers.
Oh yeah, get Frankie Peppers.
Filibuster.
Filibuster. J.J. Weatherholt is a really good player, though. I think you guys know that. I don't know. It's gonna be tough. His numbers are falling, though. You can't have a 750 OPS and win the Rookie of the Year over Nolan McLean. Also, what's AJ Ewing's OPS? Oh, that's 766. If AJ Ewing, because right now J.J. Weatherholt has about 400 plate appearances, about 4 WAR. AJ Ewing has about 225, 230 plate appearances, 2.5 WAR. If we're talking about value, AJ Ewing currently is pacing for more value than J.J. Weatherholt. That's something to consider too.
I mean, to me, JJ Weatherholt doesn't even look like he should be top. Like, we're going second base defense for top 5, top rookie of the year.
Yeah, I mean, if he could play center field, that'd be a different story.
No, of course. I mean, so, second base is premium now because of the way we've gotten rid of the shift. But I think there's a long way to go for this rookie of the year race, and it would matter so much to the Mets to get that comp pick. But where's Frankie Peppers? Also, before Frankie Peppers, I want to tell you guys, Mark and I just want to find ways to engage with you guys by the end of the season. And we're still going to go to a bunch of Met games. So if you guys are done with this team and don't want to go to the ballpark, I respect that decision. But if you guys that do want to go to the games the rest of the way, what?
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I got my email about canceling the season tickets. You got to see what they're doing for the rest of the season because they know it is going to be empty.
Oh, tell.
Yeah, let me load it up real quick. You say what you're going to, though.
But we want to do some kinds of messed up community engagement events at Citi Field.
We're going to sit in section 530 and we're all going to bring food.
Yes,
wear Hawaiian shirts.
And we'll poll you guys. You guys let us know in the comments what you like. Something like a Hawaiian shirt night. Our buddy Ernie said he wanted to go to a game in a suit.
Yeah.
Which we all go to games in suits. I think would be funny. And the women in formal wear dresses. Like black tie optional Mets game is funny.
Yeah.
Mark had an idea that we all sit again in the 400s or 500s and everybody brings a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
And we just have rotisserie chicken eat off on the picnic tables behind home plate in the upper deck. Weird stuff like that. So I think we're going to organize a lot of this through the Mets'd Up Discord. So we're going to put the link to join the Mets'd Up Discord in the description for this episode, audio version and video version. And if you guys don't have Discord or don't know how to do Discord, but you want to engage in these events, we try to check our DM as periodically as possible, even though a lot of them get, trapped in the abyss of sex robots.
Yeah.
So just try a few times. Maybe then it'll actually get to our primary folders, not the spam where they all go usually.
I didn't ever think we'd say sex robots on the podcast. That's a new one.
It's just insane when you how many of these DMs come through. You're like, this is ridiculous.
Okay, so I got my thing that the ticket window to cancel opens on Friday, which is electric. I'm going to say, when does it end? I'm going to make them sweat a little bit. But they're introducing new things before the end of the 2026 season. We're offering an exclusive season ticket member benefit, 20% discount on food, beverage, and 20% discount on all retail purchases. Honestly, that's kind of a good deal. Save me $20 on 20% on all that. My $15 beer becomes $12. It's a little bit better. Plus, every ticket for the remaining regular season home games this year, including each ticket in your membership plan, comes with $10 in free money to spend every single game. The Mets are literally going to give you, if you have a ticket to a game, and this is for everybody out there, make sure you use the $10 Amazing Fan reward toward food, beverages, or merchandise at Citi Field. They're giving away free money. Use it. Cash it in.
Do everything you can. Again, maybe even just don't get the tickets for next season.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not getting those. Although, my seats, I saw an ad or something like that. Apparently, the guy filmed the ad in my seats. Literally at where my seats are. I'm if I was at the game, I would have gotten in there.
You picked a good seat. It's just a bad team.
Bad team. If anybody wants Dodgers tickets, hit me up. I am not going to that one. I'm cashing in on those.
No, you do a nice little summer weekend, but we got Frankie Peppers now.
Frankie Peppers.
Here we go.
Gentlemen, this is Frankie Peppers. How you doing? For a team that uses artificial intelligence, AI, as much as the Mets do, they're pretty stupid. I don't think Zac Thornton used any AI in his beautiful pitching yesterday on Tuesday. Good for him. Good for that young man. Tell me your favorite way. My hot take is don't use AI to think. Tell me about your favorite time that you didn't use AI. Okay, gentlemen, thank you. Let's go Mets. Take care, boys.
My favorite time I didn't use AI?
To get my college degree. AI was not existing when we got our degrees. That's my proudest non-AI moment.
Yeah, thank God, honestly. I think that it really was good to this new generation. They don't know the rush of 11:15. You got 750 words to write by 12.
Because I promise you, if it existed, I would have been using it.
Yeah, I mean, we use Quizlet. I remember my dad got got a master's degree lately, and he learned about Quizlet. He was like, "This, thank God, this didn't exist when I was a student."
It rocks, Quizlet.
Yeah, Quizlet was great. But yeah, AI, really happy not to use it for education. Really happy not to use it for all the actual writing I do.
Yeah, you actually write.
I think a lot of these sports websites are going to get caught using tons of AI and laying off a lot of actual people, which is complete bullshit, but that's just the way it's going, sadly.
It's called talent, James. It's what we got over here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Make sure you're subscribed over on YouTube. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Draftnik Mark. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Robert Murray tomorrow. Insider. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. Let's go Mets. We're interviewing tomorrow. Out Friday.